This is Literary Onion, and you're watching oldest versus newest restaurant at Disney Village in Disneyland Paris. Disney Village has been open since 1992 at the very opening of the French Disney parks, and along with Disney Village opened 3 restaurants that are still there today: Billy Bob's, the Steakhouse, and Annette's Diner. Billy Bob's is a buffet, it's predominantly opened at night. The Steakhouse, a steakhouse that opens at lunch and dinner, and Annette's, our choice for the oldest competitor in this video, is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, so matches its newest competitor, Rosalie, which we'll go on to later. Annette's is a Disney-owned and operated restaurant, themed like a pseudo-50s-era American diner. It celebrates music with details like jukeboxes on the walls near booths, there's a TV at the back showing old music videos, the ceiling lights are shaped like records, and you even occasionally will see a cast member rushing around on roller skates, which is matching the large statue at the entrance. The seats are fairly close together, which can make it a hassle for the cast members and the guests to get by them, especially when it's busy and people are sitting down or preparing to leave. Annette's itself sits at the end of Disney Village, near the exit to the car park and the train station, so it's a good destination to stop at on the way out or into the Disney parks from that side. Yes, I have done that when I was very hungry and I was on the way to the car. And it's very visible, using big signs and props, in big lights usually, to make it known that it's there in case anyone needs it. And people do need it, because they very much use it. It's one of the most popular restaurants in Disney Village, and it usually has some kind of line waiting outside. It doesn't accept bookings, whereas Rosalie does accept bookings, and it works instead on a first-come, first-served basis. And because of its popularity, that can mean a bit of a wait in an inside and an outside queue, which can be hard, especially in winter. But to be fair, because of the style of food they cook and the service provided, the line of people going in and out is very quick and frequently moving. The cast members are mostly efficient at their jobs. The only problem we have had was getting their attention for the bill at the end of the meal, and even that was solved within about 5 minutes of trying to catch someone's attention. The cast member we had at breakfast was so astute at his job that when we only ordered one breakfast, he still brought 2 sets of cutlery and a spare plate over, without us even telling him that we were planning to share. The breakfast itself is limited in choice because there's only one choice: an American breakfast, or so it says on the menu. However, it did feel more like a weird amalgamation of an English breakfast: baked beans, bacon, egg, sausage, toast, and an American one with American pancakes and maple syrup on the side. The breakfast itself was okay, nothing really special, but not the worst thing ever. The eggs were a bit dry, the scrambled eggs we had. The pancakes were a bit doughy and not really matching the flavours that were on the rest of the plate. It was the sort of breakfast you wouldn't begrudge paying for once, because it was only about €17 for quite a big breakfast. But I would never be in a rush to go back. It's forgettable, and there's plenty of other options in Disneyland Paris that are better than this breakfast. The lunch dinner food is exactly what you would expect from an American-style diner. Burgers, hot dogs, big salads, milkshakes, nothing really too special. For somebody like me who isn't a big beef burger fan, in fact I don't like beef burgers at all, I was left with like a spicy, nothing exciting about it chicken burger. And when I say spicy, by the way, I really mean spicy. They kicked that spice level up a notch. Similar to the breakfast, the chicken burger isn't bad. It's just not something I would crave or clamour for compared to other restaurants with chicken burgers. And that makes Annette not really a burger I would personally run to. But to be fair, the one standout point of Annette's that puts it apart from any of the other multiple places that sell burgers for burger lovers in Disneyland Paris is the burgers of the month, or the seasonal burgers / the special burgers. They're seasonal burgers, they come out, I don't know if it's every month, but it's every so much time. I think it's every month, but I'm not sure. I think it is. But they come out, and that's where all the chef's creativity goes. They've won multiple awards, as far as I'm aware, around the Ile-de-France area. When we went, the seasonal burger had good quality Charolais beef, it had quality cheese in it, rocket, and paprika crisps / chips, and other things as well. Rather than the standard chips fries that comes with the regular burgers, like mine, it came with curved fries. They tasted like regular fries. But honestly, I'm going to give A+ to Annette's, because when I used to go to it, they didn't have very good chips, and now they've really, really improved them. They're very decent chips now. My mum had the special burger. She enjoyed all but the paprika chips, which were too smoky, on top of all the other smoky items. The burger just needed a bit more balance with some fresh tomato or some sweet chutney, and then it would be perfect. Either way, the creativity of these seasonal burgers is why I would go to Annette's. Especially if you love burgers. Compared to the other burgers in the parks, they're far above and worth the price tag. Rosalie, Annette's competitor, at the newest restaurant in Disneyland Paris, is a French bistro-styled restaurant owned and operated by the Bertrand Group, which in France also owns Burger King, and Hippopotamus, which you can even find in as close as Val d'Europe shopping centre, which is a 5-minute train ride away from Disney Village. Hippopotamus is also a great restaurant for a great price and is frequented by a lot of locals, and I would very much recommend Hippopotamus as a great restaurant to go to. Where Annette's is a relaxed atmosphere with service intended to be as fast as possible, Rosalie is designed for a long, relaxing time. The views of the lake and the hotels from the restaurant is breathtaking in the conservatory, and the inside seats are in an environment that feels upmarket and relaxing. The service is even more efficient than I would even argue Annette's is. They use buses to bring the food out and take dishes back, so the service can focus all their attention on their customers and their needs. The service we had were all friendly, helpful, and very well trained. When it comes to paying, or even ordering, if you didn't want to order with a server, you just have to scan the QR code on your table to pay the bill, or order your food even, and leave. Though you have the option to pay the server as well, so don't worry if you only have cash. It makes it easier, the QR code, for customers to come and go at their leisure without having to wait for a server. 3 menus run throughout the day. The breakfast menu has a 1-page selection of choices, from a small, simple express breakfast with a bread or a croissant / pain au chocolat and hot and cold drink, to the Rosalie breakfast, which is the biggest breakfast there. It features a selection of the items you can buy separately, and everything on the Rosalie breakfast is great quality. For €18, €1 more than the Annette's, you get a fresh bowl of fruit, a freshly made half baguette with premium jams and butter. I actually found the butter in a supermarket near me later for about €3.40 for a box of these packets, so it costs roughly about the same as medium quality butters around like France and the Brittany region. It's very tasty butter, I will say. A croissant or pain au chocolat, which is just as good quality as the baguette, a choice of scrambled eggs, or what look like them on other tables, and a cheese and ham croissant, which is one of the best things I've eaten at Disneyland Paris in general. Go watch the Snack Wars video if you want to see it properly. What tastes like very fresh orange juice also comes with it, or apple juice I think, but I can't, I'm pretty sure it's apple and orange juice. The orange juice tastes like it's from real oranges. And a velvety hot chocolate I got tasted like liquid chocolate, also featured in the Disneyland Paris Snack Wars video if you want to go watch it. My mum, however, wasn't a big fan of the coffee. She felt it was a bit too milky and a bit too weak, and she preferred Annette's on the coffee front. Just a bit of a thing for any coffee lovers out there. Either way, out of all the food on this trip, the breakfast at Rosalie is where we found the most value for quality. A definite must when visiting Disney Village. The dinner menu is wide and vast. There is a set menu you can get, I think it's around €30, but unfortunately we didn't have time to visit that then. We did manage, however, to book. Yes, you can book, remember, you can book your reservation at Rosalie. But we did manage to make it with a booking to a lunch sitting where you could get a menu of 2 courses for €19. All the food here was excellent quality. Both the ones my mum had on the menu and the ones I had off menu were great food. The mussels in the mole frite were all cleaned and open, which is a rare feat, and proving great attention to detail, as it's a really labour-intensive job usually to do that in the kitchen. It was actually one of the jobs I used to do every now and again in a fish restaurant I worked in, and that was in much smaller amounts than sold at Rosalie, so A+ for effort on that front for Rosalie. The Labo Rouge pasta, which is a starter but I actually got it for a main, was perfect, little parcels of cheesy goodness, definitely deserving of its Labo Rouge status, a status that is only given to the best foods in France, and is a regional dish of the Dauphin region, I believe. Though I will say, as much as I loved it here in Rosalie, it was quickly overshadowed by the salty delight of the Parmesan version of them that was sold in Hippopotamus nearby. However, the ones in Rosalie are still good. The only issue we had with the food at Rosalie was about timing. 2 items we ordered, both the French onion soup and the pan perdu, very simple dishes to make, but equally complicated because they're so simple, needed work. They were okay, but hadn't been given the time needed to be great. The French onion soup was weak and lacked the hit of flavour you can get when you just allow the onions to cook for longer and get those caramelised goodness that makes great French onion soup. French onion soup, like, best case scenario, you're sweating those onions for about maybe even an hour on low heat. It takes a long time to make really good French onion soup. And the croûte with the cheese on top, however, was correct. I've had problems where it's not been correct before, and the best version of French onion soup, and they did that right. So just fix the French onion soup underneath and you've got a perfect dish there. The pan perdu was also still too bready on the inside, so it hadn't been soaked long enough in the custard before it hit the pan. Again, a timing issue. Neither of these are hard to solve. All the items that were with them, like the ice cream and the cheese and bread and apples and everything like that, they were perfect. Just need a bit more timing with the French onion soup and pan perdu. A bit of patience, basically, from the chefs. So both dishes, yeah, they just need for the chefs to allow them the time to become the best versions of themselves. As it stands, the versions we had were okay, but they made me miss the old French onion soup they had at Kinlugwig's, which was perfect. Royal Pub doesn't have it, unfortunately. Overall, the win has to go to Rosalie in this competition. Just for a mixture of relaxing, modern, but also pseudo-not-modern atmosphere, and the value overall for just great quality of food, other than the few things that they can tweak, which, again, it doesn't take too much to tweak. After only 2 visits there, breakfast and lunch, it cemented itself as one of our favourites in Disneyland Paris. Even the comptoir outside where you can buy the takeaway products from Rosalie, like an almond croissant that we got, great. They're great quality, and the cup, yeah, you're going to get good quality at Rosalie as far as we've figured out so far. Annette's, however, isn't a loser either. They've made great improvements since the last time I ate there. Their special burgers are definitely their selling point, and while the decor feels a bit outdated, it's hard to judge it on that, as it'll soon be going into a refurb like the rest of Disney Village. Overall, if you prefer burgers over any other food, you're probably going to really like Annette's. If you want to try some good quality French food, but don't want to leave the Disney bubble, Rosalie's a great choice. Even though I probably rate Hippopotamus higher than it, there's no denying Rosalie feels like an elevated experience just in decor and view alone. But it's not just up to me. Which one of the two is your favourite restaurant? If you haven't eaten in any of them before, which one do you like the sound of the most? Thank you for watching. If you want to see more of our upcoming Disneyland Paris videos, including at some point a ranking of breakfasts at Disneyland Paris, please consider subscribing. I hope you're having a great day, and if you're not, I hope a great day is on its way soon. Again, just thank you for watching.